What's up, YouTube? Happy Monday, or whatever day of the week it is. Honestly, who really even knows what day of the week it is anymore? Anyways, today I'm going to be telling you guys a little story about a project that I'm currently working on. So in early March, a girl named Danielle and I reached out to me on Instagram basically saying, I love your work, I'd love to work together, and she's based in LA. So long story short, I actually plan to go out to LA to shoot with her in late March or early April. Obviously with everything going on right now, that got put off to the side on the back burner, but she actually reached back out to me a couple weeks ago and wanted to see if we can make something work. Obviously not shooting in person together, but just remotely. So if you don't know who Danielle and I is, she basically does it all. She's on TV, she's a TV host, news personality, all the things that I could literally never do because I hate being on camera. But she also promotes different brands through her social media. So she reached out to me wanting to create a video for a company called Noon Hydration, specifically about a product. It's their rest product. Obviously with everything going on, it's a little bit chaotic, and this product is used to reduce stress, reduce anxiety, and promotes, like relaxation. So we hopped on the phone and talked a little bit about what we could possibly do. Obviously it's a little bit more challenging than normal since we can't shoot actually in person. So I've never actually done a shoot like this before. She's gonna shoot the first part at her house and I'm gonna shoot the second part at my house. So obviously having really clear communication is going to be key here. So we came up with a couple different concepts, but the one that we actually decided to go with is she's going to walk out with a yoga mat, roll it out, sit down to meditate, and then she'd be kind of like transported into this like really peaceful state, and it would transition into like a product montage. So again, pretty simple. She's shooting the first part, like I said, at her house, and I'm going to be doing the product side of it here at my house. And so the main thing for me is I really want to give her easy, clear directions. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a shot list for her. It's not going to be like a crazy shot list that you would see on a big production. It's literally just going to be a shot list that's easy for her to follow. So after I make the shot list, I'm going to actually put myself in her shoes and I'm going to film myself going through the shot list, so that way not only she has the list of things to do with different tips and stuff, but she can also visually see what it's supposed to look like, which will make it a lot easier for her. So without further ado, let's hop over to the computer to make the shot list. So quickly just going through the shot list that I made here. Again, it's nothing too crazy. I didn't want to overwhelm her. I just wanted to list everything out along with some tips. So the first thing is I want her to set her settings into 4K at 24. I'm not going to be slowing her part down at all. So I want it just at 24 frames per second, and I want it at 4K just because I want to record at the highest quality. Also, I don't know if I'm going to have to punch in or rotate or anything, so that will give me a little bit more flexibility there. And then I just listed some tips. So find good lighting. And again, Danielle's used to being on camera, and so this isn't new information for her, but I just wanted to reiterate some things, and that way it'll save us time and she won't have to redo anything. So put the phone on a tripod or other stable surface. Use the back-facing camera. So obviously when you're filming yourself, your instinct is going to be to use the front camera, but it's not as good of quality as a normal camera. So I want her just to set her phone up, frame the shot, and hit record, and then she can act out the full sequence. Again, obviously it's easier when you can see yourself, but the quality is going to be much better if you just use the regular back-facing camera. And then I want her to film vertically. So this post is going to be for an actual Instagram post, which means it's going to be 4x5. When you record vertically on your phone, it's story size, which is 9x16. And so I just told her to keep in mind that a little bit of the top and or the bottom will be cut off in the stories. So when in doubt, just go slightly wider than you think you need to. And then I wanted her to do the full sequence in 3 different camera angles. So instead of breaking everything up by the shot and saying, do a close-up of this, do a medium shot of that, do a wide shot of this, I just wanted her to do the entire sequence in 3 different camera angles. That way I can just cut in between all of them. So close-up, I want it really close. specifically focused in on the noon. It'll get a little bit of her feet, hands, and mat. Medium will be more of like the bottom half of the body, and then wide will show everything, including a little bit of her surroundings. One tip I gave her is try to remember the exact movements for each take. We've all watched a film where there's continuity errors, and so just making sure you remember what foot you or what hand you use to pick up the noon and that kind of thing will just make it all flow easier. And so this is the full sequence right here. So basically just walk into the center of the frame, roll out the yoga mat next to the noon and glass of water, sit crisscross applesauce. When's the last time you said that term? I don't even know. Kindergarten. Put the tablet into the glass, let it fizz, and I will probably cut in between because it kind of needs to fizz for a while before you actually drink it. So I just put a note of that. And then she'll drink it, set it down, put hands on the knees, and close your eyes and take a deep breath. So pretty simple. I just wanted to list out all the little micro steps here so that, again, there's continuity with each take, and it's really easy for her just to go down the list and do the full sequence. I'm gonna have her not be in her living room like I am right now, probably on her patio, or I don't know where she's gonna be available to do this, but I'm just going to do mine as an example in my apartment living room because my place is really small and she can still get a feel for kind of what we're going for. So I'm gonna move this couch out of the way. So I'm gonna be using Advil as a stand-in for the product since, like I said, it hasn't come in yet. And then a glass, obviously this will be filled with water when she does it, but for now it's just gonna be empty. We're gonna start with the close-up angle, so I'm gonna try and find a place where I can set this up and it can be nice and stabilized, and I'll go through the sequence and we'll do that a few different times. Okay, so my camera battery died when I was filming, but I was pretty much at the end anyway, so you guys didn't really miss anything. Basically, I just finished filming the little example videos, sent them off to Danielle along with the shot list, and that's about it. Now I'm just waiting for her to film her part, and I'm waiting to get the product in, which hopefully it'll be in within the next couple of days. Whenever I get that, I'll be able to film the other half of the video. So until then, hang in there and I'll see you in a couple of days. All right, so it's been a couple of days since I shot the first part of the video. At this point, Danielle has sent me her videos.
Just set up our makeshift studio. I ordered this light on Amazon. My computer is gonna be here. I'm gonna put my phone on my computer to film. We have our noon product and a yoga mat.
I also got the package that she sent me with the product in it. And so now we're gonna use this little makeshift studio behind me to make kind of like a little product sequence. Okay, before I get started shooting, I just wanted to show you guys exactly what I'm working with in order to shoot this, so you can see that it's really nothing special. I'm literally just in my tiny little living room and making the best of it. So this is what we're working with here. Set up my main light right here, the table. This, like I said, I just got it from Amazon, a little roll of paper. And yeah, this is a little spinner thing that I used for a product shoot a while ago and haven't used it since. And so we're gonna play around with it today. Basically, it's just like a little platform that spins around. Obviously, it would be awesome to have an extra bedroom to use as a studio, but for now, this is all I have and we're just gonna make it work. So I just wanted to point that out because don't let that ever be an excuse, okay? Just work with what you got. I'm gonna set this up a little bit wider so you can see exactly what's going on over here. I'm still really dark, but oh well. Okay, so the first thing I did was turn off all of the house lights. This is something that I do at pretty much every shoot. I wanna get rid of that ugly orange tungsten lighting. So I have my key light right here, and then obviously the background is right here. And then to light the background, I have these lights. They are amazing. I use them all the time. They're RGB wands, and the brand, I don't know exactly how to say it, Young Nuo, forgive me if that's wrong, I'm sorry, but they're the YN360 lights, and they're version 2, and they're already set to the color that I want. We're gonna do like a nice turquoisey blue color. Again, this product is to promote relaxation and rest, and so I wanted to use kind of like soothing, calm colors. I'm not gonna use, you know, like crazy vibrant colors like orange or red. Those colors are more like energetic and powerful, and so I'm gonna stay more towards the cooler side. So we're gonna use these lights, and I'm just going to place them. I don't know if you can really tell how this is set up, but I have my backdrop right here, and then it goes all the way down to the floor, does a dip, and then comes back onto the table. So then we have the backdrop facing this way, and then also the backdrop on the table as well. So I'm gonna put these over there, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna do a couple of these little spinning shots. So this little product spinner I got for a shoot probably like a year or two ago, and I used it once and haven't used it since, but it's actually really handy for something like this. Basically, it's just a platform that rotates and you can switch the speed and direction and all that. So I'm gonna do those shots first. Holding this down, I wanna make sure that the horizon is level. Probably won't be in most of the shots, but just to make sure that the lighting is even and everything. So let's turn this on and see what it looks like. So for this, we want to make sure it's right in the center so that it's not moving further away and closer back. It's just staying right there. Can you guys even see that? Spin. Cool. So for this shot, I'm going to set up the tripod that's right behind me. Okay, so for this first shot, I'm gonna shoot in 24 frames per second just because it's rotating really slow. So I know I'm not gonna slow it down in post. I'm probably just going to keep it the same, or if anything, I'll speed ramp it or speed it up. And so I'm going to shoot in 4K 24. I'm on my GH5, by the way, on my 12 to 35 lens. So I want it to be parallel to the little spinner. So I'm gonna get nice and low with the tripod here. Things are getting a little wonky. Let's even things out. All right, so I'm at 35 right now. I think I want to go actually a little bit lower. So I don't want it to be tilting down. I want it to be pretty parallel just because I don't want to get a lot of the spinner in it. All right, so now I have my camera set up here exactly how I want it. I have my product here. There we go. Okay, so I set my focus to manual and set it to the bottle, and it's just gonna rotate around. I'm going to hit start, and I'm just gonna let it go through a couple times just to make sure that we have a nice, clean, full rotation to go off of when I'm editing. And so we're just gonna let it run, and I'm gonna monitor it while we're doing it. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a shot of me popping off the top of this. And so basically it's just gonna be my hand in the frame. I'm gonna pop it off, and that's about it. I'm gonna record it once in 24 frames per second and then again in 60, just so I can play around with the different frame rates when I'm editing. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is place this wherever my hand's gonna be, just so I can set my focus. So I wanna be around, like right here, I would say. Like right here. So I'm gonna put this right here. I'm gonna set my focus. And it's kind of hard. Ow, I'm like breaking my ankle right now. It's kind of hard to squeeze back here, but it's fine. So one thing too that I'm keeping in mind as I shoot this is that the edit is going to be a vertical 4x5. And so if there's extra things in the frame in my camera that I see that I know I don't want, that's okay because it's gonna be cropped in a little bit anyways. Okay, so I'm gonna put this right in the middle. Make sure we're good, exactly where we were at. Okay, and I'm gonna do this a couple of times. I'm gonna try not to show my nails that are like a month grown out now at this point because quarantine. All right, so we're just gonna pop. All right, I'm gonna do that a couple of times. And I don't wanna cover up the label either. I'm gonna do it so it's kind of like halfway open already. Pretty good. Do a couple more. Ooh, this one smells really good. Okay, I'm gonna do one more. I don't want to cover that up. And so now we're gonna shoot the glass shot, so the tablet actually going into the glass and fizzing, and we'll do a couple of angles of that. All right, so I have my cup of water. I cleaned it off pretty well. I mean, once you get it in the light, you realize that you think you cleaned it well, and then it actually still looks bad. So we'll just kind of freshen it up. Whoa, look at my face. Put it right here, set my focus. So this is gonna be the shot of me dropping in the tablet. I'm gonna shoot it in 120. All right, so that's nice and centered. My focus is set. So I'm just going to start it, and then I'm going to grab one of these guys, and I'm literally just gonna plop it in. Cool. I'm just gonna let it fizz and do its thing. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna do a little bit of a tighter shot so that it gets closer to the little tablet that's fizzing. Smells like right. Here we go. Really, it's just splashed in my eyeball. It's fine though. 3, 2, 1. Geronimo. Cool. We got action. Okay, so the next shot I'm going to do is I'm going to pour these out upside down, and then in post I'm gonna flip it and reverse it.
I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it.
So that it looks like all of the tablets are floating back into the little container. So she sent me a couple packs of these, and so I did a couple test runs on those, and it actually looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna test it out with this, and we'll see what it looks like. I'm going to shoot in 120, and then I'm gonna do it in 180 as well. When I did it in 180, when I did the test ones, I don't know, it just looked kind of weird, like not as sharp. And so I'm going to probably stick with the 120, but I'm gonna do them both just in case. All right. Okay, so the key here is going to be to make my hand look natural, like it's not being held upside down. And so I'm gonna kind of like get over it and do it a couple different ways. So I'm gonna have the cap pretty much off, and then I'm gonna do it a couple different ways. So, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I didn't end up doing the stop motion of the tablets. I'm gonna wait that one out because I don't think I'm gonna want it. So I'm gonna put all the footage onto my computer first, go through it all, and then if I wanna shoot that part, then I'll do it. But if not, then I don't wanna waste my time doing it. So that's what I'm gonna do first, is bring all of my footage into the computer and go from there. So the first thing I did was import all of my footage into the project, and then I converted all the files to a frame rate of 23.976, and then I created a timeline with the frame rate of 23.976, put all of my footage in the timeline, and this is just my workflow of how I like to work. And then I just sifted through all of the clips, highlighting my favorite ones, and so as you can see, I started to label them pink. I like to stay organized this way just so I can easily go back and find my favorite clips. I started bringing them into another timeline. So for my main timeline, it's 1080 by 1350. So the second half of my screen recording didn't save, but I went back just to show you guys this last little clip right here where you can see the noon and then also the clouds going by. So how I did it was I just took a clip of the noon rotating on the spinning platform and created a mask around the product itself. So as you can see here, I just drew a mask around it, and as the bottle rotates, I keyframed the mask around it. So as you can see, it looks like this with no background underneath it. And then I dragged in a clip that I recorded of just the blue background from earlier and laid that underneath the clip of the bottle. And then I wanted to add in another element, something soothing, something calming. And so the first thing that came to my mind was having a cloud time lapse go by. I found a free stock footage clip of a cloud time lapse going by and turned the opacity down to 42.9%. That way it's not as dramatic. I just want it to be a slight little effect in the background. I just layered that on top of the blue clip and then put the product clip on top, and this is what they look like, all three together. So there you have it, guys. That's how Danielle and I worked together virtually during quarantine to create an Instagram video together. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see more of, and make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video.